I built a 60-foot long slip and slide and tied it to the back of a UTV. Then I bought a 2-pound gummy bear and turned it into a crash test dummy. Why would I do such a thing? Because today we're investigating Isaac Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion, going the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Newton's first law, let's go! So first of all, the object at rest. I decided to test this one by tying a slip and slide to a UTV. I would sit on the slip and slide and see if the object at rest, that's me, would stay at rest or not. Now I figured this could go badly if I'd missed something about Newton's laws, so I found a nice smooth section of lawn and hoped for the best. It was probably the fastest slip and slide ride I had ever taken, but I only moved a few feet. Now you may be saying, isn't an object at rest supposed to stay at rest? Well, unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. And in this case, the unbalanced force of friction between myself and the plastic did cause my motion to change just a little bit. But I wasn't done yet. You may have seen this same phenomenon in action when a tablecloth is rapidly yanked out from under some dishes. Well, I figured why not take it to the next level and pull the whole tabletop out from under something. I detached the tabletop from the table and connected the rope. First, I tried it with my breakfast. As you can see, there was a little friction force that moved the dishes a bit, but overall, the objects at rest stayed at rest. But I still wasn't done. I decided it was time to put it all on the table for science. And that's right, I sat on the table myself. Now on the next part of Newton's first law, an object in motion stays in motion at the same speed and going the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. For this demonstration, I needed a good crash test dummy, and I chose a 2-pound gummy bear as my volunteer. Now objects in motion want to stay in motion, so let's watch and see what happens in the case of a head-on collision. As you can see, the car stopped, but the crash test dummy kept right on going. In fact, if it wasn't for the unbalanced forces of gravity, friction, and air resistance, the gummy would keep on going indefinitely.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the perfect time to express just how critically important seatbelts are. That's right. Without the seatbelt to keep you attached to the car, your body will continue until it meets an object capable of stopping it. And that object could be the dashboard, the windshield, a tree, the road, another passing car. If you decide to cut yourself free from this important restraint, in an accident, your stop will very likely be sudden and violent. So, always wear your seatbelt. Keeps you very safe. Now on to Exhibit 2, where we examine how objects resist not only a change in their speed, but also a change in the direction they are moving in. I'm sure you felt this one before too. If you're driving along in a car and the driver suddenly turns, you may feel like the door hit you. However, this actually isn't the case. Instead, your body tried to keep going straight, even though the car did not. The door simply prevented you from continuing in your original direction. I decided to try this one out for myself in an all-terrain vehicle that didn't have any doors to stop me. When the driver suddenly took a hard turn to the left, I found myself rolling away from the vehicle, basically traveling in the same direction I was before the turn. Let's take a look as our crash test dummy illustrates this same thing. Watch how when the car swerves to the right, our crash test dummy keeps right on going straight. And so, there we have it, Isaac Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion, at the same speed, going the same direction, unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. And now there's really just one more thing that needs to be done. Whoever knew that scientific discovery could be so delicious? Have a great day. Always wear your seatbelt and stay curious, my friends.